Hello my friends in YouTube land. This is Material Girl 338, otherwise known as Diane. This is part 5 of the video on making the baby's quilt, and what I'm doing right now is I'm quilting it. I put it all together. I sewed the binding, but not the conventional way, because I was looking to utilize what I had. And I had the fabric, and I had enough of it to go around, so I'll show you that later. I cut the light off over here to stop the glare. My other sewing machine, my Bernina, is on it broke, something with the bobbin, so I have to use this one, which is my brother, the Innovis 2800D, and I love this machine. But I love my Bernina too, because the Bernina has free motion quilting, and you just attach it to the back, and you can do speedy quilting. But this does it too, but not as good as the Bernina does. Anyway, okay, so now I'm doing the quilting, and I'm not going to talk, and I'm going to show you. Right now I have yellow thread in here, and I'm working on the green. I'm working on the green patches, because I'm going to be changing the threads. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm putting the needle down position, and I want to pull up the underneath the bobbin thread. And I'm wearing gloves. These are special gloves. They have the traction dots on them so that the material doesn't slide, not because I want to be fancy. This way you can maneuver the fabric. Just making swerves and curls. Okay, and now what I do here is this piece from the underneath bobbin, I take it and I make a knot. Make another knot, and I cut it, but I don't like this is too separated, so I may have to go in closer to it. And I really can't see without this light. I love this little light. It's like a halogen light, and it's really bright, but if I put it on, you're going to get a glare and you're not going to be able to see what I'm doing. I think the blanket came out beautiful. So far it came out beautiful. So I want to go right back into that spot where I was. Now it's easier for me to make a knot because the stitch is right next to one another. So I'm only doing, with whatever the green panel is, I'm doing yellow thread. I don't know if you could see it here. Here I did the yellow thread. So when I do the pink, I'm going to do another color thread, just to give it some contrast. I love this needle down, needle up position. I would never buy a sewing machine if it didn't have this feature on it. There's so many nice features on the sewing machines today that we didn't have years ago. Go right back where that spot is. On the Bernina with the free motion quilting, it is so easy to do this. Okay, I don't know if you could see that. That came out nice. And I just have one more patch to do for the yellow, thread. And I have one more here, right here. When you give these blankets as gifts, some people that don't sew don't realize the work that goes into them. And so now I'm very fussy who I give my stuff to. You give stuff to people and they don't appreciate it because they don't realize what work went into it. So the moral of the story is, don't give your blanket to somebody who doesn't appreciate it. Alright, I want to get that underneath bobbin thread. I'm going to make a video on bobbin work. I don't know if anybody does that, but there's some beautiful work you can do with the bobbin. If I go slower, the stitches are bigger. If I go faster, the stitches are smaller. And also, I love that you push the button and it cuts the thread. That is so awesome. I love that. Okay. Just want to show you. I don't know if you could see it. I'll kind of like hold it up a little bit. Okay, so I did this, and this came out nice, except I noticed there's a piece here. It's too big of a thread. I hope it doesn't start to come out on her because these are big threads. I have to do this over. Yeah, because the thread, the length of the thread is too big. And it may start to ravel. So I'm going to redo that. And this is the binding that I did. See, it was normally, you do the bias, you cut bias strips, and then you attach it. But I had so much of this, I was able to fold it over. Plus I had the batting, which gave it a little bit of a cushion here. And then I folded it over, and then I tucked it in. So then I stitched a 1/4 of an inch all along here, and then I stitched another 1/4 inch on the top, And the binding came out really nice. I used my walking foot, so it came out really nice. I'm also going to do this in yellow. I don't know if I have enough thread. Sometimes you got to do it a couple of times. And lowering the pressure foot is another good feature to have. I mean, the sewing machines today are beautiful. They have so many things and so many stitches. I haven't had any problems with this Brother. I love my Brother. I also have a Baby Lock. This is Baby Lock, but I have a Baby Lock serger, and it's the wave, and you press the button, and it surges. It whooshes the thread right through. It has the automatic threading system. I love it. I love it. All right, this I got to take my time with. I know my hands are in the way, but I gotta get that out of there. And I gotta be careful because there's the blocks over here. Take your time, go slow. Fold your fabric. Uh-oh, my thread ripped. Well, I'm glad this happened because I can show you how easy it is with this threading system here. So I have enough thread for this little patch here. And you're not supposed to pull the thread from the machine this way out. You know, if you can. But sometimes the thread gets stuck and you have to. You have no choice because you can't open it up. Why am I doing it? Alright, because I didn't thread it right. This is another great feature I love. On the Bernina, the foot comes down and it automatically feeds the needle, this is another great feature. I wouldn't buy a sewing machine if it didn't have these features on them. Okay, and we're over here. Keep your blanket on you. Don't let it hang down because the weight pulls it. All right, where was I? Right here. I want to pull up that bobbin thread. gotta help it just until you grab it. See, so you grab it this way, it makes a knot. Let me cut this. It's too long. It's in my way. And I ran out of thread. No, I actually didn't run out of thread. My thread broke. And that's surprising because I'm using very good thread. I don't try to use, see, this got a knot in it. This could have caused me all kinds of problems. See that knot? Can you see that? That could have caused me all problems. And I would have had 2 machines that I would have to bring back. Oh, another tip. When you buy your machine from the dealer, try to be close to your home as possible. Mine, I bought it up in another state, so in the Poconos. So when I have to service it, I have to travel 3 hours just to get up to the Poconos. And then, you know, he holds the machine there, and then I have to go back again. So the gas and the tolls, you know, it runs into money. Everything runs into money today. But it's easier if you, I mean, if you live in an area where they, you know, where you have a sewing machine dealer, and he's an authorized dealer. And when you buy your machine, make sure that they are authorized. I had bought a sewing machine one time from this company, and the guy told me he was giving me a brand new machine, and I paid for a brand new machine. When I got home and I started sewing on it, the rubber underneath in this part started to break and fall. So he used the machine at shows, at the sewing shows, at the expos. And he told me it was never used, and it was. And you know, I brought it back to him, and I said, this machine is breaking as I'm sewing on it. And he gave me a hard time. And I turned around, called the bank, and I put a stop payment on the check. I got his attention very quickly. And then I brought the machine back, and I said, I want my money back. And he was trying to give me another machine, and I didn't want it. And I told him I don't want to do business with people that do that. If you can't be honest and you can't be, you know, a reputable dealer, I don't want to do business with you. Because then if something happens to the machine and you pay a lot of money for it, you're up the creek, not them. They don't care. They already got your money. normally when I do this, I try to go back to the first spot where I started sewing, but here I didn't, and it does really make a difference, because you don't want the threads to start to unravel. Oh, and I save all my threads, you know, all the throwouts. I save these. I know you think I'm crazy. I save them and I put them in a little bowl or a plastic bag. And then I sew a project. If I'm sewing something, I want to put a design on it. I lay this on the fabric, and they're all different colors. And then I put a piece of tulle. Put a piece of tulle over it, right? And they're all different colors. And then I just free motion all over that. And I use metallic threads, and I use really vibrant colors. You know, like neon yellow, and it comes out beautiful. I mean, you know, something different. So don't throw your threads out. Keep these threads. Alright, now this is a little knotty, and I'm a little concerned about that because I don't like knots. I don't want the thread to come out. If this is going to start to fray when they wash it, I don't want it to happen. Alright, let's see what happens. I made a mess there. Sometimes, you know, you are the only person that sees your mistakes. The other people don't, you know, scrutinize it as much as you do. Okay, so now I did all the green, or the mint green blocks with yellow thread. Oh, I just pressed. I did all the green with the yellow, and I think it's a pretty contrast. Now I'm going to do the pinks, and I'm going to use either blue thread, either blue or pink, or like a bubblegum pink on the pink, because these are very pastel, or lilac. Or a lilac. And it's good to just take the thread and, you know, go like that, and then this way you see how it looks on it. Purple and pink are beautiful colors together. So is blue and pink. See, and you just crumble it up and you just see. I think the blue and pink is nicer. There's this blue, or there's this blue. This is like a periwinkle blue. This is new. There's this blue or this blue. This is a periwinkle blue. I love this blue. See, it's a little more darker. That's pretty too. That half of the time, I think the more time you spend is just picking out the thread that you're gonna do it with. And if you want, take a patch, take a little piece of fabric, and see how it looks before you do the whole thing. Here's also another pink. This is like a bubblegum pink. I don't know. I have to see how I like it. All right. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen.